Unconventional cut file usage, and today I am going to make a giant shaker pocket. So I have my acetate sheet and some of those strips. They're skinny strips from scrapbook.com. I found them just by happenstance, and have been purchasing them ever since. They are perfect for making shaker cards, not a car. Anyways, I also went through all of my swatches to pick out some colors from my Altenew watercolor set, and I happen to have the same design, only when I was making this design, I should say, I didn't know how it would cut. So the very skinny one is the one that I knew wouldn't be the best one, right? The one on the bottom is my end result, and then this one here is me playing around. So when you design a cut file, it's hard to envision how the Cricut will see, or how any cutting machine will actually see the image come through. So I always do sample cuts to make sure that what I'm envisioning is actually going to happen. Well, I didn't want to throw this away because I was shocked that my Cricut actually cut something this skinny, truth be told, and B, it was, I thought I could use the leaves as a tucking somewhere or anything. Well, then I realized that I had both sets, and I thought, well, why don't I layer them and make a shaker pocket? I've never done that before. It's just something that I would have never thought to do. So what I'm going to do for the majority of this video is paint. However, my camera is, or was, still offset, and the majority of this recording is off camera. And I was like, really? I did not even know that. Like, you see this, I keep saying like, I apologize. You see that me color in this one leaf, and then I move to the next leaf, and you don't get to see it because it's down below. I looked up and I realized, oh, you can't see it. It'll be okay. So I move the flower, and then I go down to the other leaf, and you can't see that either. Oh, it was a big old mess. It was a big old mess. And I do this twice because I do this to both cut files. Well, the second cut file was even worse than the first one. So you don't even get to see me paint that one, and I apologize about that. All I'm doing is moving from high to low, and the high points being the bright points and the low points being the dark points. And so I'm envisioning that the dark is inside the leaf a lot more than the outside of the leaf, because by the time the outside of the leaf, it's sun faded and blah, blah, blah. I can make up stuff all day long, you guys. I think I say that in almost every one of my videos. But what I wanted to do was take these inner pieces and fill them back in with, once I put the shaker together, and then that way I get, a solid leaf here and there. I'm also trying to paint it at the exact same way as if I painted the outline of it. What I should have done was put this back in for, so that way I could do it all at the same time, but I didn't think about that, and because I did it this way for the first one, I do it the same way for the second one. But I have to tell you guys that A, I'm not using any gesso, and B, the more I add water to this, the watercolor, the more I can get it to blend and move the way that I want it to. Now, it's not going to be a perfect transition, which I am A-okay with that, but it definitely is, finicky once you get it that wet. It's not so soaked that it's starting to peel or starting to fall apart. I don't know how this close to my heart cardstock stays together with everything that I've done with it, especially on this little leaf. And I have to tell you guys that Altenew needs an in-between green. They have the lime, they have the limeade, then they go straight to like a Christmas green. There's nothing in between, and so that's why I have all of these really sharp colors, or I should say edges, because I don't have anything that goes from the dark green to the lime green, and so it's just one of those that it's like, okay, well then that's what I'm going to end up with because that's what I have. But yeah, it's frustrating. Could I have pulled out one of my other watercolor sets? Absolutely. Yes, I could have. But usually when I use one product, I kind of like to stay with that one product instead of bouncing back and forth between multiple products. I do like to mix my products. I like to show how well they work together. You don't need just one. But then again, I also like to show you guys how one does the trick. You don't need them all either. So it's it's just a preference, you guys. Here you get to see me paint the outside only because it's so large, but yeah, there I go, painting off camera yet again. So I zoomed out and still off camera. You guys, this is so frustrating. I cannot wait to figure out how to get my camera where it used to be. I just don't understand how it is, right? The tripod is just fine, but for some reason I can't get that camera to go in the right spot. It's frustrating. I bet it's frustrating for you guys even more because I'm off camera 50% of my videos. Okay, so to solve my skinny issue, I wish, I am going to put this really cool burlap ribbon. Now, this was my favorite ribbon back in the day when Close to My Heart came out with their Seaside collection. And I mean, the first time I hoarded this ribbon, you guys. I absolutely love this ribbon, and this little chunk is all that I have left. Yes, it's so sad. But yes, I definitely wish that I could get some more of this this burlap ribbon because it is the perfect size and the perfect texture for all beach layouts. I used to use it to line down a fence to make it look like the fence was, roped together. I used to use it to, frame in my photos. I used to use it all the time, and then I realized, oh, of course, somebody said they really liked it and it was a cool product, so they got rid of it. I mean, really, that's the name of the game. It's so cool. There should be staples that you just don't get rid of. I'm serious. It's the way it goes. All right, adding the acetate piece to my shaker pocket. I am in love with this. Look, see, I'm so excited. I'm also on a Zoom and visiting. I did not realize I had that much of a gap to take apart or to remove from editing. I apologize. So I'm going to go ahead and put my pieces down to frame in my shaker. Now this is going to be a large shaker, and this is for a pre-planned layout. However, I don't have the photos for it yet. In fact, we haven't even gone on our vacation for me to take the photos, but I do happen to have an idea in mind as to where. Now I'm trying to figure out if I want that to be on the top or on the bottom. I'm realizing that I don't like the Polaroid effect in the background, but if I put it on the top, then everything that I just did was wasted. I'm not wasting my favorite burlap ribbon. No way, Jose. So I went into my paper stash and pulled out this burlap paper that is from Joanne. I just covered up the entire background, and I thought, why not? Now my sequins have things to catch onto because this burlap is very textury. I put in the sequins mix by Not Just for Boys, dumped the whole thing in, and then I was trying to find one other thing that I could mix with it because it didn't feel like there was enough in there. I went with a color that was almost like the flower, but then I decided no, I don't think it matches, so I went with some green stars from Nuvo. Now the stars I get from my Tonic Studios kit. Every now and then I get glitter, every now and then I get sequins. The kit is fantastic, you guys, because you get a little bit of something every time, and even though I get it mostly for the mixed media product, I know most people get it for the exclusive dies and stamps. I've probably only used the dies and stamps about 6 times. Probably worth it, probably not. I have been, I've been doing this. This is my 3rd year now. Wow. I had no idea. I started on kit 17, I think 17. But I love the sample of mixed media products. And when I mean sample, it's just you get a microscopic little sample for maybe 1 or 2 projects. And for them, it's enough to do about 5 or 6 cards. But for us, it's 1 or 2 scrapbook layouts, which I am perfectly fine, especially those little pots of mousse or nouveau embellishment mousse, I think is what it's called, because that my climate does not, it does not agree with that product. I know several of you guys have left comments to try to help me save my product. In all honesty, I am not interested in spending that much time trying to revive a product. I've got several other mousses or pastes that I can play with. Not the exact same colors. I wish they came in more colors, but that's okay. But yeah, I'm not interested in trying to spend time reviving a product. I tried the press and seal to save it. I just feel like my climate is so dry and the elevation that I live at, it's just not meant to be. So, and I'm okay with that, you guys, because of the fact that I get the little tiny pots. I don't feel like it's a waste. I've only ever bought 3 of the larger pots. They are no longer in my stash because they were hockey pucks. My kids could go play ice hockey on the pond outside, and and it would work fabulous. But the little pots work so much better for me because it's a 2 and done, and I love it. I'm so happy with that. So no complaints, not at all. The colors are beautiful. But I just, like I said, that is one of the reasons why I enjoy my Tonic Studios kit, because I get to sample all that stuff and not have to have this big ginormous thing go bad. All right, so I used some foam tape to put my leaves in. I really love this 3D effect. I really love the fullness of the leaves and how that turned out. I added a little title or a saying and whatnot just to kind of fill in that gap. I felt like it was just a little bit too big of a shaker pocket, but I am absolutely in love with this, and I cannot wait to go get my photos and actually put this on a layout. I think it's kind of cool because normally I build my layout based off of the shaker pocket, and I feel like now this shaker pocket is more of an embellishment rather than the star of my layout. I'm not sure. We'll see when that time comes. And yes, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Be sure to check out Janet, who is Galaxy Girl Creations, here on YouTube, and see what she is up to for the unconventional cut file usage. Thanks.